morning, everybody. My name is Julianne Peterson, and I am your host for tonight's Zoom in 8. I am a senior director, loan officer, person who can help you with finance. I'm with Old Capital Lending. We have been doing this for 35 years. 35 years is a very long time. We have grown. We've closed 6,000 deals, 6,000 loans. Wouldn't you want somebody who's done that many deals on in your partnerships, right? So when you work with a lender, it's a relationship and it's trust. And I'm here to help. If you've got a deal, I'd love to take a look at it. Now, listen, the biggest deal right now is everything is on the move. The rates in particular are on the move. Okay, 80% of our business today, the loans that we're closing are in bridge financing. So what does that mean? Bridge is a short-term loan. It's 3 years typically, and it's interest only. You got a whole bunch of money coming in and very little bit going out. But that helps a lot of these deals get across the finish line, because you can do renovations to raise the rents. Across the nation, our average rent growth is 13%. And in some markets, it's 25%. It's nuts out there. But here's the thing you need to be thinking about. Let's say I'm closing your loan at 4% today. That is an adjustable rate. As many of you remember back in the day, these people back in the 2008, they bought these adjustable rate houses, loans on these houses that were not worth anything. And so on these multifamily loans, let's say we're taking it out at 4 and it adjusts. We put on a rate cap. It's like an insurance policy. Okay. These rate caps today, they're charging us $50,000 to $250,000. That's for the policy. So when you think I want to do bridge, you have to take into consideration these rate caps. And here's how it works. We're asking you to put a lock basically on your loan at a certain percentage. So if I'm giving you a loan at 4% and you take out a rate cap for 3%, the loan can adjust from 4, 5, 6, 7%. If it goes to 7.25, that rate cap will now cover you 0.25%. But you have to cover the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 7. So that's what you're paying. That $50,000 to $250,000 is with that rate cap. But have you looked at the underwriting to see if your deal still works at 7%? Many of them don't. And you got to get in and get out quickly. So be aware of what financing is out there, because it can make or break your deal. Okay, that's enough of that. I wanted to keep talking about positive things, but you do need to understand that the financing today, it's on the move. Okay, we may see going back to agency might be your best bet, or maybe even taking out a bank loan. I can talk to you further about that offline. So tonight, I'm super excited. Why? Because I want you guys, a lot of you are new and you are just trying to prepare yourself for what's up ahead. How do I grow my business in syndication? Some of us are LPs, and that is awesome. Some of us are looking to be general partners, and that's awesome too. When you think about being a general partner, what's going to be your role? Are you going to be a capital raiser? Great. Are you going to be an underwriter? Great. I'm here to help you figure out what is the place that you have your superpower. Okay. But tonight we're going to hear about REI automations, and this is a software program. And getting started, you have to see what kind of software programs are out there. And when I came upon this software program, I was super excited, because you can basically go to one place and get most of what you need in your software, whether it is your CRM, your customer management platform, okay, or your automation. So for sending out emails, for booking a calendar event with somebody, sending out voicemails, sending out texts, it can all be done with this software. So I am super excited, but every week we learn from experts in the multifamily arena. And tonight we're going to hear from Kyle Poston and from Luke Faulkner. And we're going to hear about RE Automations. This is a tech company for real estate investors. It was founded by Kyle and co-founded by Luke. And their goal is to create industry-leading solutions for real estate investors who are actively looking to be involved with new deals. They have pre-built specialized automations that help with deal acquisition, deal management, digital marketing, and many facets of deal communication. They specialized or simplified the complex tech to create an easy on-ramp for investors who would like to use technology to scale, improve management, improve communications, and altogether spend a lot less time on tasks that can be automated instead. This is a perfect solution for so many of us. Now, Luke, he comes up, he's in Denver. So if, again, Kyle is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Luke is in Denver. If you're in those markets, you got to reach out to these guys. Luke is from the tech startup world as well. Again, he's the co-founder, and he started a few startups where he was in charge with client acquisition and growth. He left the startup world about 5 years ago to start a real estate marketing agency, combining two of his biggest passions, which is one, helping companies scale online, and two, in real estate. So it is a perfect fit. He's done a dozen residential fix and flip projects, and is actively building a portfolio of rentals and Airbnbs. God love you. His primary focus now is with REI Automations, where he aims to help as many investors as possible and give the best all-in-one solution in this industry. And so tonight I'm super excited to have you guys here to talk to our audience. And our audience spans thousands of people, both here, and when we send out every week, we send out an email that recaps what we've talked about, as well as on our YouTube channel. So this is a great opportunity for these guys to, educate you, because if you're new, and many of the people are, you do not have your systems and processes in place. So this is perfect timing for them and perfect timing for you. Okay. So Kyle, Luke, how are you guys tonight? You have been so patient.
Doing great. Thanks for having us tonight.
Man, oh man, I got to tell you, I'm
honestly thrilled. I really appreciate being here.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.
Now listen, I reached out to you. I found you. I really feel like our worlds were aligned, and because I was working, it really was. It was love at first sight. I was on Salesforce and I hated it. If anybody's used Salesforce and for what we're doing, it is cumbersome. And I was told, hey, this is for mortgage brokers. This is excellent. It was not excellent. I spent $900 for 1 year. So when I looked at, this automation and CRM, I needed something that, somebody who knows nothing about tech could help me with. And so Kyle took me through it, and I said, this is the place to be. You know what? It's kind of like, he's kind of a really good running shoe, a really good hiking shoe, and a really good high, men don't usually wear stilettos, but if you're a woman, it fits all of those needs. Okay. If you guys, the men want to wear the stilettos, have at it. But these guys, their platform will hit all of these needs. So I'm done talking. Kyle and Luke, Show us what you got. Oh, before you do that, everybody, if you need to leave because you got to do something else and life gets in the way, take the chat with you, okay? Here's how you do it. Look up the chat, pull it up, okay? There are 3 dots on the right-hand side. Touch those. It says save chat. You only have to do it once. It's before you leave, okay? You don't have to take pictures of all of everybody's information. Take it with you. That's the gold nugget that we give you every week, okay? Secondly, go to the top of your screen and there's a view on the right-hand side. It's got little, 9 little dots. Press it. It says gallery. I'm sorry, go to speaker view. And now on my screen, I have the most royal. Kyle is on my screen. Hopefully he's on your screen. Maybe I'm on your screen, but Kyle will be there shortly. Kyle?
Just a moment. Yep.
There you are. So let's give our attention to you guys. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, and really excited, both Luke and I, to be able to talk with all of y'all here tonight, and to be able to show you kind of all of the pain points we had to go through, the problems we had to solve. We were initially kind of doing for ourselves, and then realized that these systems were just, so important that when we started to introduce them to other investors that we knew, we really realized that there was something here and something that could be built out to simplify a lot of technology and really simplify, a lot of problems that they don't necessarily have to exist. They don't need to be there. So to hop right into it.
So I want to make sure that everybody knows this software can do websites. You're going to need a website, for heaven's sakes. You're going to need your email. You're going to need your CRM. Okay. You're going to need your automation, your calendar. It's all here, people. So Kyle, walk us through each of those, please.
Sure. Yeah. Both Luke and I are going to kind of split it up here. So I'm going to show you guys part of it, and then Luke's going to show you part of this as well. So I am sharing my screen.
Yep.
And is everybody able to see this?
Yep.
Awesome. So as we're kind of scrolling down through here, pretty much straight to the point of what Julie was saying. We have a lot of our kind of main core components of the software have been built together, and we really took inspiration from a lot of softwares that people are very familiar with. So on SMS, softwares like MiniChat, Twilio, and for ringless voicemail, softwares like RingCentral. For websites, softwares like WordPress, Wix, Carrot. From CRM, Salesforce, Infusionsoft, and HubSpot. For landing pages and conversion-based funnels, from ClickFunnels and landingpage.com, I think. And then from emails, looking at MailChimp and Mailgun, and looking to say, all right, what did these softwares do well? And then when combining these things, how can we simplify, and take the complex out of a lot of those softwares, and then just put the functionality, all in one place, and then begin to custom tailor it for real estate, for investors, and for the type of functionality that investors really need. And so that's kind of what we did. And to what Julie's saying, being able to build websites inside of the account, having an all-in-one inbox, so that when emails are coming in, text messages are coming in, you could have Facebook or Instagram messages coming in, Google My Business Chat. When all of those messages are coming to you from multiple different places, we want to be able to combine it into just one single inbox, and then be able to set up two-way communications with that, and be able to automate two-way communications with that, and then still just be able to see it all in one place. And so That's probably one of my favorite components in there because, just really simplifies a lot of communication. And then the CRM is really a necessary component to, the process, because what the CRM does, CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. And in the tools that you need in order to manage a relationship, you need to be able to communicate, but you also need to be able to organize. And so a customizable way to organize your communication and kind of follow along with that communication inside of a process. That's where a good CRM will really help you. It will clarify and help you organize. But as Julie may be able to express to you, not all CRMs actually become helpful. A lot of them, they will drown you in the technology and add more complexity than is what is needed. And so in addition to that, we do have some VIP services that we offer, which, we'll touch
Okay,
on a little bit later.
okay, hold on. You can't run over this because this is what I needed. And that's why I want you guys to know what they do. I don't know how to do anything about creating a website. I don't know how to put the functionality with any of my CRM. That's why my Salesforce didn't work, okay? So these guys can put it all together. Do not be afraid. This is doable with the way that they have their customizable, their services. So be aware of that. Really take advantage of it. All right, Kyle, keep going.
Yeah, a really, big difference that Luke and I have set out to achieve with this company is to not be this large, massive corporation where, people are onboarded and then they're just like, in a queue, and, the help that they need is either too expensive or, if you try to figure it out, you get mired down and stuck in all of the technology when you just need things to work so that you can get back to the investment part. And that's really what the services are about, is for us to play a hands-on role in getting your technology set up for you. So whether that's a website, custom automations, getting your emails connected, getting your social media accounts all connected, and kind of showing you how, once things are connected, how some automations start to work. And we're going to run through an example of this on here too. But that's what the services are really about. It's just really to help fast track that process so that, the tech headache is gone and you can get back to being an investor and now leveraging these tools in your investment business. And so, a few other features here. And, as Julie was kind of mentioning with Salesforce, just to give you guys a quick comparison to this, if you do go to Salesforce, you can kind of see, kind of what you get here for, $25 a month, $75 a month, $150 a month. If you want really good support, you have to pay the $300 a month, and you have to sign a 1-year contract. Ours is only a month-to-month service, but all this includes is just the CRM. So with just a CRM, you're not going to get like email automation, text message automation. They're not going to help you set it up for that $300 a month. If you do want a customized setup within Salesforce, prices quickly get into the thousands. And then if you do want, email automation and text message automation, that's where you have to add on their marketing package, which is their Pardo pricing. So Pardo is their marketing automation. It's down here in their marketing services, and you can see how quickly this begins to jump up. $1,250 a month, $2,500 a month, $4,000 a month, $15,000 a month, and then they limit you on the number of contacts. Those were huge pain points for us. When we were looking at developing this, we were like, this is insane. It's like, for yes, you can get a return on your investment if you're doing really good work, but just to be able to organize your process and to be able to start to build in some automations, to us, this was an insane price point. It's good for them. They're, a multi-billion-dollar company now. But at the same time, in order to get all of these features, we're like, there's definitely a better way. So for email marketing and personalization, lead generation, qualification and management, advanced analytics, advanced automations and personalization, things like this. And so,
So
there's
can you tell us, sorry to interrupt you, but I want to make sure we're keep moving forward here.
Sure.
Your platform has the CRM, it has the automation, it has everything. How much did you say it costs a month?
So ours is just $197 a month.
A month. $197 a month, you guys. You don't have to buy HubSpot. You don't have to get your active campaign, constant contact. You don't have to have all of that with your Wix and right here.
Yeah.
Can we see a trial? How does this work?
Absolutely. And so, to your point, was like, just to kind of get it out of the way, at the very beginning, it's like, for all of these different services, if you were going to group them together, what you'd be looking at monthly to pay for all of these services separately, you would have to, one, kind of sort through and set up accounts with all of these. And then you have to start to tie them all together with, either API integrations or using companies like Zapier. And it comes out to, easily over $1,600 a month, where ours is $197 a month, for all the same functionality. And then we're actually building on it and improving it as well.
And when they sign up, REI automations from Zoom at 8, it's only $197. Isn't that fantastic? $197 from Zoom at 8. Kyle, thanks so much for giving us a special price on that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And we got something else that just want to show you here at the end. For everybody here on the call too, we did want to do something extra special for y'all. But just from an educational standpoint, we had to do a lot of research across all these software platforms. And I think one thing that goes missing is, people don't see a clear comparison. They may get recommended to a software, but they don't know what else is out there really, or necessarily what they're getting into when they subscribe to a HubSpot or an Active Campaign, and then realize they have to get so many other things, and then it quickly starts to stack up. And so we really, really wanted to just be able to draw that clear comparison, and say, there is a better option out there. And so, this is inside of an account. So this is inside of an REI automations account, and we're looking at the deal pipeline right now. And so in this deal pipeline, you can kind of see that each one of these is an individual contact, and then this contact can be moved around between different categories based on actions that they've taken, or based on how they may have responded to certain communications. But before you get contacts into your pipeline, the one thing we wanted to show you is, a lot of it starts with a website. It starts with a website, or it starts with a funnel. It starts with a way for you to communicate what markets you're in, the deals you're involved in, who you are, who may be on your team. And by having a website in place, it's kind of the front end communication tool for you. And so it was really important for us to be able to have the ability to host websites within our platform, because there's a lot of functionality that can be built into a website or a good funnel. And this is an example of kind of what our website team is capable of building. If you see, when we start to work with somebody on websites, we show them a lot of different options of what's out there. Then we kind of talk with them about, what type of formatting, what type of flow, what specifically are you involved in with your business? And when we start to understand those details, then we can come up with something that, is a good representation for them and starts to communicate and reflect their business. And so websites are kind of multi-page. They're gonna, like this one in particular, you can see it has multiple pages, and it can get kind of extensive. On the other side, we can have something as simple as, like a 4-page or even a single page funnel, where all this information is included on just one long single page. And if you clicked on this, it will just take you further down the page. But again, it's able to communicate. It's a front-end communication. And so things like this, where you may have a template, you can come in here and just kind of insert your information. And then what I want to show you here is kind of where this functionality starts to happen within REI automation. So, in this example, let's say you have your website within your REI automations account. We've helped you build it, or you've built it yourself in there. And, things like this, where you want to start, you want to be able to advertise, whatever your website name is. You want to include that link in your emails, in your outbound messaging. And as people are going there and they're learning about, active deals that you may have, they want to get involved in those deals. That's where they can leave their information right here on your website. And you can begin to qualify them in the process of them leaving your information right here on your website. And so I'm going to show you kind of what that looks like. This first box here is able to capture some initial information, like their first name, email, phone number, and then saying, are you an accredited investor? Yes, no, not sure. I'm just going to go ahead and put yes here. And it's going to say join. And as soon as they click fill out that form, it's going to do something where here in the deal pipeline, it's going to generate a new contact and allow you to, even from that first page, allow you to start to get or put that person into an email flow and allow you the opportunity to reach back and contact that person. But here on the second step, once they've filled out that first step, they can now, they'll now be asked to fill out a full investor form where you can ask them more information. So it'll pull over their first name, last name, email, and phone number, and they'll just start to ask them more information here. So what else do we have? Your market area, Charlotte, North Carolina. I heard Nashville earlier. That sounds good. And then as they're kind of going down and quickly filling this out, what submarkets are they interested in investing in? Whatever those neighborhoods are, and then what category of investor are they? Accredited, non-accredited, sophisticated? How many units are they looking to invest in? What improvement ratings will you invest in? Class A, Class B? What location rating are they willing to invest in here? Location classes, urban or suburban, rural, occupancy. And these forms can be fully customized. So any questions that you want to ask, or have qualified, these can all be fully customized. And so when we work with somebody on setting this up, these are important things that we work with. And then the last step, once they fill out that form, is just to ask them, hey, thanks, but before you leave, just pick the next time for us to give you a call. We want to talk with you about being an investor in our projects. And here's where the integrated calendar from the REI automations account is now also on the same website that's coming from the automation account and from the same forms that are coming from that account. And so when they book a time, I'll go ahead and schedule that for 24th here, select a date. It goes ahead and auto fills in their previous information. They book that appointment and then they're all done. And so now you can see that this new card has been created in the pipeline, that somebody submitted a form on the website. Our system, can be set up to notify you. Our system will actually send you an email or can send you a text message as soon as somebody fills out that form. And it can show you the information and show you, like, here's their name, their email, their phone number, and here's the information that they filled out in that form. So if you want all that in an email, so you can quickly look at it on your mobile phone while you're on the go, those notifications are easy to set up as an automation in here. But once this card's created, we kind of click into that. We see the contact view. And now we can already start to see that, this automated email went out just to confirm that appointment with them. It says, hey, Kyle, your meeting's confirmed for this date and time. We look forward to meeting you. We'll give you a call from this number. Sends them a text message and starts the next steps in the conversations here.
And those can all be put together before, right? You guys would help them set that all up. So the day one, you start sending out emails and getting people interested or coming to your website. These are all launching, right?
Yeah. So that's kind of the nice thing. Once it's set up, then that's kind of the biggest component of it. And that's where, you go to a Salesforce, you go to a HubSpot, and, it's like they will charge an extreme premium. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to help you get this type of automation in place, where, notifications are being sent out when somebody books in a calendar, that, to get customized form fields, and to set up automated outreach from emails and SMS. And so, we really want to kind of we want to offer the ability to help you guys set that up at a much more competitive price point. And then once it's set up, then it's good to go. And if you ever do want to modify it, we've made it extremely easy to come in and modify. And so, when all that information comes in, you'll see all their information here in the contact record. So, that I chose urban and suburban, that I'm a accredited investor, all these answers. And where this becomes really nice is not only is this information right here in this one place for this contact, but we can now go create a custom contact list based on any of these answers. So if you want to send a message out to only people who are interested in investing in Class A improvement rating properties and who are also accredited, then you can quickly go to your contact list here, and that's what Luke's going to start to go over. You can quickly go to that list, create that subgroup, and send messages specifically to them. And so, from this contact view, you can start to see like your appointments, have tasks, things like that. And then here's the all-in-one inbox right here. But yeah, kind of before I hand that off to Luke, wanted to ask, maybe as a quick break, would this be a good time for questions, or we want to wait for questions at the end?
Yeah, let's have Luke wrap it up with his end, and then we'll get, we've got some questions that are being addressed by Luke. So Luke's going to take over. If you could address the questions that come in online in the chat at the same time.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
we have about 5 minutes left.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll whip through a couple other features here. Let's see. All right, you guys see my screen now?
Yep.
Good deal. Cool. So, yeah, I know I only got 5 minutes. I did post in the chat our demo link. So obviously we're not going to cover every single feature on this call. But what we like to do on those demos is really assess like your current business and your needs, and we'll be able to show you kind of how we can build out a custom, tailored solution. So One feature that we like a lot and that users really see a lot of value in is our contact section and smart lists. So essentially, this is where you can store your entire database. So if you have lists of real estate brokers, mortgage brokers, property managers, we call it the money group, investors that you're looking to raise money from. You can import those lists in here. You can import, big lists. You can add contacts one by one. And then our smart list feature is really neat because you're able to filter your contacts. I mean, right here, for example, we have 6,200 contacts in here. If you knew their email, if you knew Mr. Very Sexy 84, then you could come in and type in their exact email in here. If you wanted to filter on, certain things like city, for instance. So a lot of you guys sound like you're doing deals in Dallas, for instance. You could filter based on Dallas. You could filter based on state. So if I just click here, like state is Texas. I would assume we have someone in Texas. Let's see.
Need to get some friends in Texas.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see here. City and state. So let's just do North Carolina because it's right here. So we could filter on all of our contacts in North Carolina, for example. Looks like we got Kyle here. So you can kind of filter through your database in this view from here. And then from here, let's say we want to take all of our, I know we only have one here, but take our North Carolina contacts. We could select them and do a number of different things. So if we wanted to add Kyle here to our pipeline, we could go ahead and add him to, if we're looking to raise money on a deal, we could add him here. Deal acquisition. So we actually have a pipeline for acquiring deals. That's something I could get more into on a demo. And then we have other pipelines for like liquidation phase, operation phase. So you could add those contacts to the proper pipeline. You could add them to a campaign. So campaigns, Kyle touched on a little bit, but they allow, so this is kind of like the active campaign, part of REI automation. So in here, for instance, let's say we wanted to do outreach to, our investor list. We could customize this campaign. So here we just have 2 texts, for example, but maybe we want to send out a voicemail drop after these texts. So we could say, all right, like first text will go out a minute after a contact is added to this campaign. And then if they do not respond, we want to automatically follow up with them 2 days later. And then we could come in and add, different emails. Voicemail, you would just drop an MP3 file right in here. And you can kind of build out a comprehensive campaign and automatically add people to this campaign. So the last thing I'll kind of touch on here, like these pipelines are fully customizable. So these stages, like we kind of have them in place because we think they make sense, but every business is totally different. So if you guys wanted to add stages to this, if you wanted to change the name, simplify things, we can definitely do so. This pipeline, for instance, we have just an address here. This is going to be more for raising money. So if somebody comes through the website, they're interested in this deal, they're going to automatically drop into this pipeline stage. If they're soft committed, you can drag them over here. And then you could even add like a value to that contact. So if Edmund here, committed $54,000, we can come in and, add that value right in here. And then we can start to see, all the different stages here. So we've soft committed, $454,000, hard committed, $392. And then ultimately, we want to drag these people over to capital raised. So that's an example of a pipeline there. And let's see, one other thing that's, extremely cool here, for instance, and where we can really start to automate your business is we can build automations based on these pipeline stages. So let's say, for instance, once somebody's dragged into the document signed pipeline stage, we could fire off automatically a campaign. So maybe we want to send them a text and an email letting them know, hey, we got your documents, when's a good time to hop on a call, whatever the case may be. So you can really start to automate this full process here. So that's a little bit about the contact section, more about the CRM component. Obviously, I mean, if you look in here, there's plenty of other features. We only touched on, a fraction of them, to be honest, but people that are looking to, learn more about it and how we can kind of make it work for your business, I did pop the demo link in the chat there.
Yep, that's awesome.